yeah, you've not seen this footage because I've not put it on a film. So sadly, I'm on a day out with my mate Chris with his Jeep up at the farm near him where he stays and off road. We had a wee bit of an off, and basically I stuck my bike in a ditch and then fell off it trying to keep it upright. And that's what happens when you ride a motorbike too soon after having labyrinthitis, which was possibly a post-COVID thing that I got. I don't know, but anyway, that was fine. So was the bike, but it got a bit bent and dented and a few war wounds, you could say. Nothing that wasn't seriously damaged, but stuff that needed attention. The headlight cowl, nasal type thing, whatever you call it, it was a bit damaged. So was the front mudguard. I straightened all that out as best I could. So I had to replace the headlight cowl. So I decided I would do that along with another job I've realised. So standard handlebars that I swapped for these motocross bars, I'm putting them back on, and the reason I'll explain. Where the grip is and the switch gear, is it long enough on the motocross bars so the levers sit and squint? And the motocross bars are very straight for standing up and riding with your elbows up as such. And it wasn't until I did 400 odd miles in a day that I actually noticed my hands were getting sore, and that was what it was. It was the angle of the handlebars, not curved enough, straight back, if you know what I mean. However, I did find this cross brace, so I thought, why not stick it on the stock bars? Stick them on, that'll look cool. So that's what we're going to do. The easiest way to get grips off is use a tiny little star screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. Stick it in, squirt it in with WD-40 or GT85, and that'll break all the glue and pull that grip off. And when you come to put the grip back on, clean it all with brake cleaner first, degrease it basically, let it dry and stuff, and then just spray inside that grip with clear lacquer spray, normal spray paint, clear lacquer, fire that grip on, and it won't come off again, I can guarantee you that. That's an old motocross trick we used to do. You can see here on the right hand side it's not the right angle. So anyway, get all this loosened off, unscrew the two bolts underneath the switch gear on each side. Don't need to take that off, I just took that off to show you, I don't really know what I was going to show you, just to say don't take that off, you don't need to. That just sort of keeps your throttle assembly together. But you'll have to disconnect the throttle cable off of the twist grip, which is easy enough. So get the long bolts out, and then you'll have to take your handlebar clamp off. The reason I put cloths on everything is so I don't chip my chipped tank even more. So while I'm taking these off, I've been kind of disappointed at the look of these bars with the flaky paint with the chrome underneath, and they looked a bit crap, I have to admit. And this bike honoured me so well doing North Coast 500, I've just like got so much respect for it now. It deserves to be tarted up a bit. So I've got a few other goodies to put on, left over from stuff I bought when I got that voucher from winning the photography competition with Saltire Motorcycles. So anyway, moving on, we've got levers, switch gear off, levers off, and get rid of those bars. Those bars will get repurposed, they'll get nitromores back to chrome, and I'm going to put them, they're a bit heavy for a bicycle, but I'm going to put them on an old fat bike I've got, which is actually an original purple Surly Pugsley fat bike. Now if you're not into bicycles but you're into motorbikes, when I show you a picture of this bike in another film sometime, you'll be quite impressed with it, because it's got 4-inch tyres. Basically the same back size tyre as a TY 175 Trials bike, or actually a Royal Enfield Classic 350. There you go. So the clamps take a bit of fiddling to get on. So there's like knurled grippy bits, what are they called? You know what I mean? They're on serrated bits on the handlebars. Once you've got it all lined up, just push them in and it'll hold the bar up on its own, and then you can get these screwed in and job's a good one. With the tank on, there's not a lot of room in those bottom bolts, so the ratchet spanners come in their own there. If you've not got these, get a set of Draper ones, get them on eBay, a set of like 8 to or 10 to 17 or something. Maybe no, they're actually 8 till 19, I think the set is, 20 quid or something. So there's locating pins inside the switchgear, which you'll see the holes on your original bar here to east of it. That'll relocate your switchgear, and that positions your levers. So a bit of clear lacquer spray on the bar, just slap that on, wipe up in and you push out. Let that sit for 5-10 minutes and that'll soon be set solid. Job done there as well. Add the original bar end weight, which actually reduces vibration, and that's one side all done, finished. So how I relocated the throttle cable into that plastic throttle sleeve was I held it with long nose pliers and pulled it, and that gave me a bit of slack and a bit of play to get it locked in, and then it's just a case of getting that switch gear locating pin. You can see a wee hole under the handlebar, see it there? So that pin that's on the switch gear, I'm pointing it there, that just goes into that hole that I just pointed at as well, and it's the same as the other side, and once it locks in you just put your bolts in and tighten up, and that's all in its right place where it should be. As with the clutch lever side, left side, just put the two bolts back in. They're two different lengths on each side, same as the other side. Get the right ones in, tighten them up, and then put your bar end on, and that's all finished. Zip up secure both control levers each side by an 8mm socket. And we're as good as done, just the mirrors to put back on now. That's it all done. Just check now, once you start it up and turn it, check all your wiring's all connected up right. Check you've not done any damage, check all the lights work, check the throttle isn't started red when you turn the bars, etc. You know, all the usual sort of safety checks. So in your pre-ride checks, which none of us ever do. So I forgot to mention the rubber tabs that hold the wiring on the handlebars. Put both of them back on. Then with the mirrors on, we're done. So it's looking cool, looking nice and clean. So just that headlight cowl to fix. So I picked up one on eBay via India for £12. It actually came in two parts, so I just arrowed out the nasal thingy, whatever they call it, onto it. And the guard was like £6 for China. So what I worked out was I could drill it through by clamping it on, then I used those brass wing nuts, which actually came off my Willis Jeep, which weren't original because they're metric thread. Hence, when you own old Jeeps, there's all manner of stuff that's been bolted on them over the years. So just a case of taking your headlight out with those two crosshead 6mm screws at like say 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock on your bottom underneath on your headlight cowl. Take them off, pull it out, twist it, pull it out, unplug your headlight bulb, and then unscrew these inside 6mm bolts that are actually countersunk to fit in. And then you've also got your height adjustment screw, which is a long screw with a spring on it. Take that out, and then you can just swap it over to your headlight cowl. And that looks well cool and a bit different with the brass wing nuts, and you can now get a cloth in the white of the headlight as well. Perfect. So just mount it up, and then obviously plug your headlight in, mount it up, and then that's it. Look at that, that's well cool. So I'm just checking on the lights, when it's running, turn the bars and all that. Double safety check, and hopefully everything's okay, and then we'll get out for a ride and see how much difference the Fuel X has made. So this is obviously the same day I did the Fuel X. This is like part 2 of one afternoon tinkering. So then, after just riding around town, on and off the throttle in traffic, it is way smoother. Definitely made an improvement to the smoothness. And after a quick run up Starvation Brae, which is a hill south of a wee village called Spot, south of Dunbar, you can see it from the A1 basically. The power delivery is just smoother, as I was expecting it to be, as other people who have fitted the same setup have. Now there's a few sort of doubters to the CAT and DNA Stage 2 filter conversions. Well, compared to stock, my bike ran a lot hotter, and now we're into warm weather. I remember this time last year, or a month from now, my bike was just running and it was really hot. And I remember the crankcases being really hot to touch on a hot day. So I would still go with this. I would still say to people, keep the original silencer. So Stage 2, sorry, do a homemade Stage 2, just hack it up, the outer cover, and put that DNA filter in. I'd buy a CAT, I don't care what anyone says. Everybody says it's not worth the money. For all it is, 100 odd quid, just get it and do it. And the bike may sound a lot louder because of the induction roar through that filter change, and some folk don't like it. I think it's brilliant. It's actually seriously addictive. The bike will run cooler, which means it might run longer. And I know you do 73 or whatever flat out, you're not going to change that, right? But it's no better having that and having an engine you can't blow up and you just ride and ride and ride than trying to tune an engine or de-restrict it. And that's why people have asked me, are you interested in getting a bore kit if they come out and all this, and I'm not. I mean, it's a 350 single and it was £4,000, and I've only spent 400 odd quid on mine. I've just bought some handguards for it, but I actually got that money for free because I won a photo competition at Saltire Motorcycles, as you probably know, some of you. And what I'm doing with that is I've bought some goodies. I bought the sump guard, I'm buying bash guards because I do ride mine on gravel road and stuff. And I justify everything. If I fall off something and I break something that I can't get home on, then I'm screwed. Home recovery or not, whatever. That's not worth a damn when it's going to take you 4 hours until they turn up and pick you up, and it will in remote areas. Don't care what anyone else says. I've had that in the Highlands, and I had the 14-hour journey home. It was horrendous. So let's get up Starvation Brae, and we'll stop for a photo, and we'll call it a day at that. That's running brilliant now. Definitely smoother rolling on and off the throttle. So yeah, the Fuel X Lite is definitely worth doing. It's not for more power, it's definitely running richer. It's not popping as much now between gear changes, but the roll on and roll off, it was always smooth, now it's super smooth. Brilliant.
So anyway, got other things to do today, but it's good to get a wee quick run, just try the bike. So as always, thanks for watching, and leave a comment, come and say hello. Ah, it's cool with the brass wing nuts. Perfect. Happy with the standard bars back on as well. Levers feel in the right position, and it's more swept back. It's not got that straight motocross elbows up feel. Definitely noticed that when I went on the North Coast 500. So anyway, thanks for watching and bye for now.